What's up guys, I'm Danica, welcome back to my channel. I've only been crocheting for 3 months, but in that very short period of time, I have become obsessed with crocheting as a hobby. Not only do I love crocheting itself, which I find so meditative and I really like its problem solving and construction aspect, but I have also gone deep, way too deep, into the world of yarn, tools, and accessories. In this video, I wanted to share with you 5 of my favorite yarns to work with and learn with as a very beginner crocheter. Almost all of these yarns fall under the $10 price point, and as a total novice, I have also found that these yarns have been some of the easiest to work with and learn with. The first and most affordable yarn that I have loved over the past couple of months has been the Value Solid Yarn by Craft Smart, which is available at Michael's. This yarn is 100% acrylic, and at full retail it costs $3.99 for 354 yards. They recommend that you use a 5.5mm crochet hook for this yarn. One of the interesting things about Craft Smart yarn that I have found is that it's really important that the first time you buy it, you go to the store and you touch it with your hands. What I found is that the different colors and dye lots and even country of origin really affects the hand feel of Craft Smart yarn. This is Dark Taupe. It is a medium chocolatish cocoa brown with very subtle mauve/purpley undertones, especially under certain lights. I love a turtleneck, and I started working up a turtleneck raglan sweater. I found this yarn to be super soft and almost cottony in feeling. It's thick without being too thick, and it's also sturdy, which I think is great so it doesn't flop around too much in a sweater. It works up quickly, and it has great stitch definition. It slips easily on and off the hook. I haven't had it split on me at all, and it's just really satisfying to crochet with. Another yarn that I have loved working with over the past few months is this Lion brand Hometown 100% acrylic chunky yarn. This color is Houston Cream, and it's currently on sale for $4.19 for 81 yards on the Lion brand website. They recommend a crochet hook size of 9mm. Now, full disclosure, I still have yet to find the perfect project for this yarn, but I have done a bunch of different sweaters, just experimenting. This one, for example, really shows, I think, what this yarn is capable of. It's super soft, fluffy, chunky, works up so fast, and has great stitch definition even though it's so fluffy. I think it's because it's a little bit glossy. The yarn is also offered in a skein that is, I think, double or triple the size of this skein, which makes it slightly more affordable, although I have been just buying it on sale and on offer at Michael's. The third yarn on my list is this West Yorkshire Spinners Color Lab DK / Zonda Rhodes collaboration. This colorway is called Woodland Awakening. It is 100% British wool, and for £6.37, that's British pounds, you get 246 yards. They recommend a crochet hook size of 4mm. I have made a couple of things so far with this Color Lab Zonda Rhodes yarn. I love the colorway. It's inspired by wildflowers in England, and I can totally see that, but it also has that Zonda Rhodes sensibility of 1970s, 1980s color combinations, which makes me so happy when I look at it. Because it is wool, and this is the very first 100% wool yarn that I have worked with, I was a little bit nervous because in the store, when you touch wool, obviously it feels a little bit scratchier than acrylic and synthetic fibers and cotton, but I was really happy that when it's worked up, it gets that fuzzy, warm, fluffy winter sweater feel. I previously made a small vest out of this yarn, and now I'm working on a cardigan that I'm almost done with. I only have this much rib left to do on the placket. I also really love that it's 100% British wool, and it feels really good to support a regional industry. And I also love that this wool is 100% machine washable. The next yarn on my list is the Lion brand Heartland yarn. This color is Black Canyon, but I've also really liked working in their Capital Reef colorway, which is currently sold out on their website. It's 100% acrylic, and for $6.99 at full retail, you get 251 yards. The company recommends a crochet hook size of 6 millimeters. I have used a smaller one and it's worked perfectly fine as well. I have made a few different projects with this yarn in a few different colors. I love that the colors are semi-solid, so they're all heathered. So you get that solid color look without feeling like you're looking at like a flat pane of color, if that makes any sense. I do tend to prefer solids because I find them to be easier to conceptualize into larger pieces in my mind. I'm just more of a solid color wearer. The latest work in progress I have with this yarn is I wanted to make myself a very tall turtleneck. I find it very satisfying to have like turtlenecks that go all the way up here. Also, it looks great on the jawline. But I'm working on a turtleneck sweater top down with this yarn, and you can see that it's soft, it's squishy, and the result is very satisfying. It doesn't split when you're working with it. And the last yarn on my favorite yarns of January 2022 list is something I just got maybe 2 or 3 days ago. It is the new Karen Blossom Cakes in Tropical Blooms. This is a 61% cotton, 39% acrylic yarn. At full retail price at Michael's, it costs $12.99 for 481 yards. But I find that Karen cakes are often on discount or on offer, and there are always coupons at Michael's, so I bought 2 of these for buy one, get the second 50% off. The crochet hook size the company recommends is 5 millimeters. I love Karen cakes, especially the way they look when they're in K format. They're so beautiful. And one of the most fun things, or I mean challenging, but also fun, one of the most fun things about Karen cakes I find is when you get them home, it takes a while to figure out what to do with them, at least for me. I mean, I'm totally new at this. So I tried a few different things with this gradient color until I found something that I think works really well. I should have taken a tip from the name. It's called a blossom cake. So I wound up doing a jasmine stitch, which I think really does the colorway justice. I'm hoping to work this panel into a jasmine stitch cardigan, although I'm not sure how practical jasmine stitch is for a cardigan because these little loops can get caught easily on things, but it's just so soft and fluffy and warm that I think it'd be perfect. I also like that it's a blend of cotton and acrylic, so this could potentially take someone into spring. So those are my 5 favorite yarns for crocheting as a total beginner. What are your favorite yarns? Can you make some recommendations for me? I would love to try out some new things. I just placed a huge order with Premier Yarns and I'm waiting for that to arrive. And my apartment, my tiny apartment in New York City is really starting to look like a yarn warehouse. So I need to get these projects going and make some great stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.